Hello everyone. On this video we will be looking at the mean, median, mode, and range of a group of numbers. Okay, now starting off, the mean, usually that's denoted by an X with a bar over the top of it, for a set of values is the sum of the values divided by the number of values. So if you have 10 numbers listed, you add all 10 of those numbers and then you divide it by 10. If you had 8 numbers, you add all 8 of those numbers and you divide it by 8. If you had 3 numbers, you add those 3 numbers and you divide it by 3. That's how you get the mean. Okay, so for example, let's say enrollment in a college over a 5-year period is shown by the following numbers. Find the mean enrollment over the 5-year period. So you have 16,911,000, 17,272,000, 17,487,000, 17,759,000, and 18,248,000. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add the 5 values and divide by 5. And again, if we had 8 values, we'd add the 8 values and divide by 8. So the numbers you add and the numbers you divide by pretty much match up. Okay, so let me move this up a little bit. Okay, so your mean will equal 16,911,000 plus 17,272,000 plus 17,487,000 plus 17,759,000 plus 18,248,000. All of that divided by 5. Okay, so if we add all of those together, we end up with 87,677,000 divided by 5. Okay, so you plug that into your calculator, you get 17,535,400. And that is your mean enrollment. Or sometimes they call it the mean average. All right, so if you are still writing, feel free to press pause and finish up. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our next example. There you go. Okay, now the median of a set of numbers is the number in the middle of the set. Okay, and that's only when you write the values from smallest to largest. Okay, so you have to write them in that order and then pick the number in the middle. Okay, now if you have an even number of values or elements, then the median is the mean of the 2 middle numbers. Okay, so I'll give you an example of both of those. Okay, so for this example, let's say we wanted to find the median enrollment from the numbers on the previous example. Okay, so remember, okay, right, that's all that. So important. Must be written from smallest to largest. Okay, so that's the only way you can get the median. You can't just put them down randomly and then say pick the one in the middle. It has to be listed from smallest value to the largest value. Okay, so on the previous example, you have 16,911,000. You have 17,272,000. You have 17,487,000. You have 17,759,000. And you have 18,248,000. And again, you notice I wrote it from smallest to largest. The value that's right in the middle, okay, where you have 2 on this side and 2 on this side, the value right in the middle, that's your median. Okay. And normally with median, I say median or middle. That's kind of helps me remember what the median means. It just means the middle, basically. All right. So if you're still writing this, feel free to press pause, but we're going to go ahead and move on to another example of the median, because if you notice here, you have 5 values. So it's easy to pick the one in the middle. What if you had an even number? And we'll do that on the next page. Okay, so the selling price for 4 cars are listed as $23,063, $31,700, $28,600, and $24,650. I want you to find the mean and median of the prices and round it to the nearest cent. Okay, so I want you to press pause and do this one on your own. Alright, so I'm assuming you've pressed pause and worked it out, so let's go ahead and verify. Now remember, for your mean, you just add them all together and divide by the number of terms. So you have 4 terms here. So you have 23,063 plus 31,700 plus 28,600 plus 24,650 divided by the number of terms, which is 4. Okay, so that's going to be 108,013 divided by 4, which is equal to $27,003.25. Okay, so this is your mean. Now, for your median, again, we write it in order from smallest to largest. So you have $23,063. You have $24,650. You have $28,600. And you have $31,700. Okay, so here you notice there's no value in the middle. You have 4 here. This is not in the middle because you have 2 on this side and 1 on this side. This is not in the middle because you have 2 on this side and 1 on this side. So your middle or your median has to be in between there. So what we do is we get the 2 middle numbers, and we find the mean of those 2 middle numbers. So in other words, we add these 2 and divide it by 2. Okay, so you have 24,650 plus 28,600 divided by 2. Okay, so it means 26,625. That is your median. Okay, so remember, whenever you have an even number of values, once you put them in order from smallest to largest, you add the 2 in the middle and divide it by 2, and that will give you your median if you have an even number of terms. All right, so if you are still writing, feel free to press pause, but we're going to go ahead and move on to our next example, which is the mode. Okay, now the mode for a set of numbers is really just the values that occur that you see most often. Okay, now if all the numbers, have the same number, appear the same number of times, then technically there is no mode. Okay, so let's say, for example, a class with 18 students had the following grades on their first test. Find the mean, median, and mode. Okay, so we have 77, 87, 100, 65, 79, 87, 79, 85, 87, 95, 56, 87, another 56, 75, 79, 93, 97, and a 92. Let me clean up this 6 a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so what I want you to do now is press pause, find the mean, median, and mode on your own. Alright, so I'm assuming you have pressed pause and worked this out. So let's go ahead and verify your answer. Okay, now for your mean, remember we add all these together and divide it by the number of values. So we have 77 plus 79 plus 56 plus 87 plus 85 plus 75 plus 100 plus 87 plus 79 plus 65 plus 95 plus 93 plus 79 plus 56 plus 97 plus 87 plus 87 plus 92. Got them all on there. And divide that by 18. Okay, so if we add all those together, we get 1,476 divided by 18, which gives us 82. So this is our mean score. Like I said, sometimes it's called the mean average. All right, so move this up. To find our median, we get all of those values. So we list them from smallest to largest. So listing them from smallest to largest, we have 56, 56, 65, 75, 77, 79, 79, 79, 85, 87, 87, 87, 87, 92, let me kind of, 93, 95, 97, and 100. Okay, so 87, 87. Those are a little close, but I think we can all see where they are. Okay, so you see here you have 18 values, which means we have to pick the 2 in the middle. Now the 2 in the middle is this 85 and 87, because you notice here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 on each side of it. So we add those two together, divided by 2. So 86 is your median score. Okay. Remember, you only have to do this if you have an even number of values. Okay, so if we had 17 values instead of 18, we wouldn't have to add it, we just pick the one in the middle. But since we have an even number of values, that's how we'd use it. Okay, now for your mode, let me move this up. Okay, so the mode really is just which one appears most often. So if you notice up here, 87 appears 4 times. No other value appears 4 or more times. Okay, since 87 appears most often, which is 4 times, okay, more than any other score. So your mode is equal to 87. Okay, so the mode is pretty easy once you line it up from smallest to largest. You just see which number appears most often. Okay, and remember, if they all appeared twice, then there is no mode. Or if they all appeared once, there is no mode. Alright, so if you are still writing this, feel free to press pause. But we're going to go ahead and move on to our last page, which shows the range. Okay, now the range for a set of numbers is pretty easy to find. It's really just one step. Okay, and that's just the difference between the largest value and the smallest value. Okay, so find the range of the test scores from the previous example. Okay, and I rewrote them here for you. All right, so go ahead and press pause and see if you can find the range on your own. All right, so hopefully the definition of a range gave you an idea of how to find it. You see difference. Remember, difference usually means subtraction. Okay, so you have your highest score minus the lowest score. Okay, that's your range. Okay, so your range is going to equal your highest score, which is 100, minus the lower score, which is 56, equals 44. That's your range. Okay, told you it was pretty quick to find the range. Nothing too complicated. All right, so that's it for this video. Hopefully it made sense, and I will see you on the next video.